I'm the type of person, dude, that
You got to keep rolling. You can't. Yeah.
if I do something from a different place, I get fucked up. Like when I played hockey at Fenway, like on the ice at like when they first came for the Winter Classic, and then I played again the next time. The depth perception, like we were on the same ice, same board, same glass, same puck, wearing the same equipment, and I just had a nearly impossible time trying to mentally get adjusted to like the whole scene around me. The depth perception, I think that's what it was. Now, I still scored like 6 goals and won the MVP, but you know,
Would have been 12 though.
would have been 12. And now I'm in a new studio here at Pots Unknown, as you said before we jumped on. And producer Paul Price is back where he usually is, where we usually are. But now we're going to be testing out some remote recording. And if this sounds a little strange or even looks a little strange, I apologize because we're testing some things out. And you're seeing this and hearing this right now, but what you are not seeing and hearing is a lot of the ways that this remote broadcast was a failure before we actually got it to work. Right? Trial by error, a lot of trial by error stuff going on before we hit
Just
record.
keep pressing buttons. Keep
Yeah,
pressing
and
buttons.
I have to make sure right now we're actually rolling. We're rolling. Okay.
It does. It says it on this side. You are in the recording. So someone's
are in the
recording
recording.
something.
I'm recording the video.
Okay.
Right? I don't know if the audio is recording. The video is
It's gotta-
recording though. I have a
gotta-
million
it's gotta-
things going on this brand new Apple Studio display. I got the Mac Mini M4 Pro. I got the Rodecaster Duo. I got my old trusty Shure SM7B mic. Which it's funny, I started using these mics and then everybody and their mother started using them. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny, Paul? I was using these mics way before everybody else. And I didn't pick this mic because like everybody was using it. I picked this microphone because I did a lot of research. And I found out that this was the best mic to use. And nobody was using them. Maybe a couple radio stations were using them, not here locally, but some things that I saw. And I go, you know what? I'm going to invest in radio style, radio quality microphones. And I did. And next thing you know, everybody and their mother was using these mics. Funny how that works.
It is.
So what's up? WrestleMania 41. Let's get comfortable here in the new studio. I'll open up on my thoughts and then we'll get yours because I got to get some things off my chest. I will say that I tweeted this out the day of. I said, I will never enjoy a 2-night WrestleMania, or at least you will never convince me that a 2-night WrestleMania is the best thing for the product. Now, is it the best thing for business? I mean, it depends on how they're viewing the business. And I'm going to get into that in just a second because I think they're viewing the business right now in a completely different way than they were viewing it when Vince McMahon was running the show. Because when Vince McMahon was running the show, there were no advertisements in the ring. And remember when we talked about this when they first put the Prime bottle in the ring.
Right dead center too that time. Yeah.
We knew this was going to open up a can of worms, right? Which is mass advertising throughout the WWE in a way that the diehard fan or even the average fan might not like. And so what's best for business now for the WWE, I think, is different than what it was when Vince was running the show. And so, it's tough for me to say the 2-night WrestleMania is not what's best for business because they have a different business model now, clearly. But is it what's best for the product? I don't think it is. You will never convince me that a 2-night WrestleMania is what's best for the product. And I tweeted that going in. I feel the same way coming out, and we're a couple days removed now from WrestleMania 41. And I think that the story of WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas is the over promotion of things that don't fucking matter to the product.
That's the
Everywhere I
entire
turned,
problem.
leading up to it, the week of, there was an interview with someone about something that had nothing to do with WrestleMania. And I thought there was just way too much noise heading into it. There was way too much noise about stuff that didn't matter to the product, stuff that didn't matter to the card, whether it's night one or night two. And that's a problem to me. That's a problem to me because there wasn't enough focus. And we'll get into the main event. Cody Rhodes, John Cena. It didn't deliver if you were expecting like a 5-star match, which I wasn't. So I wasn't really upset with the way the match went down. But I thought they needed to make up for that with some better promotion for it. Like, they should have had a press conference leading up to it. Like, the week of. Not on SmackDown, not on Raw. Like, you know what I mean? Like, something special that was
The whole
outside
thing
of,
was
like, what they
weird.
did.
The whole thing was weird with that finish. I blame a little bit of that on The Rock too.
You do.
Yeah, because it feels like The Rock just flaked. He set us up with Travis Scott and just bounced. That's all. I think The Rock, it made me go back to last year when they said, well, this all came together real quick. I might believe that a little bit more because I think The Rock is a psychopath. I think he shows up and just says, this is what I want to do. And this year he said, this is what I'm not doing. And he didn't show up for work that day. And it put that whole thing was weird at the end. The real main event was Saturday.
You think so? You think you
For
say
me,
that in hindsight, or you say that like going
no,
in?
in hindsight.
In
In hindsight,
hindsight,
I was not saying that going in. I thought The Rock was going to pop up. I was convinced that The Rock was going to be there. I was 100% convinced.
I was convinced too that The Rock was going to be there. I haven't put it. Let me say something real quick on the Travis Scott thing. I'm okay with Travis Scott being there because he was part of
Oh yeah.
of what happened at Elimination Chamber. I think they did it wrong. He shouldn't have had an entrance, a long drawn out entrance. Travis Scott should have had a run-in, a traditional run-in. Maybe even come from outside the ring or from the front row. Should have had a front row seat.
I agree with that too.
Hups the barricade. Then it's real quick. It's bing, bang, boom. It's like, okay. I'm sure there was, but this gets back to my main point. I'm sure there was some other type of marketing deal that they had with Travis Scott and Travis Scott's team. You talk about the Cactus Jack merchandise, which was something that Travis Scott must have his hand in because he was wearing that stuff. They're promoting his music, right? That was part of it. The story of WrestleMania 41 was just an over promotion of stuff that didn't matter. It felt like the marketing team for the WWE has been hijacked by a group of people that don't give a flying fuck about the storylines. And that's a problem. That's a real problem because you got a lot of good, hardworking people in that company that do care about the storylines, right? I mean, the storylines still exist. They're going to exist, and I'm still going to love them. I mean, ultimately, the John Cena storyline still is great, but it could have been it could have been better.
But what you're saying is right though. It feels like whoever did this one didn't do last year's because last year's was a masterpiece. Leading up to it was a masterpiece. Every storyline delivered or even paid forward, where I thought this year was going to be even better. But it feels like it's just a whole different group of people doing it now. Yeah. And part of the problem is what you said. Vince would have done it different because Vince wouldn't have had 75 belts and had to feel that all these people needed WrestleMania moments. Half of these people didn't need WrestleMania moments.
Look, Vince still had Vince was still involved, and I think Vince still wanted the 2-night WrestleMania. Right. We
Vince
could go back and forth.
He would have said like only special matches need to be on this card. A bunch of those matches, just no point. Literally no point.
Yeah, but you have to put matches that you have to put certain matches that are not important when you have 2 nights. You have to. I mean, you run out of talent. Now, did they pick the right matches? I don't. That's up for debate. I mean, Bailey was off the card. That was weird. There were some other people that were on the card that maybe weren't in the right matches. But we can go back and forth on the 2-night stuff. It's just they are marketing this much differently than when Vince McMahon was around. And I think we kind of hinted towards this, like, be careful what you wish for, right, with the Vince McMahon changes. Because, this isn't the same audience as UFC. And you're a UFC fan. And I think you probably recognize this. So, like, they're trying to push the same shit. Like, all the comedians are involved. And
yeah, every Netflix, too. Is that UFC more or just Netflix? Because every one of those guys,
I think it's a combo.
Schultz, including Burt Kreischer, they're all Netflix guys.
Yeah, it's a combo because I think they're all piggybacking off of the same popularity. All the stuff that's drawing the numbers right now. So in fairness, look, I think WWE, they're drawing numbers. It's just it gets to a point where it's a little too over the top. Like all of this they're obviously whoring out. The WWE has been whoring out for celebrities. And some I could tell you like a mid-level, maybe even below mid-level celebrities. I know we love comedians and we all love the Joe Rogan show and all this. And there's some big name comedians, but let's cut the shit. Like comedians at the end of the day, most of them are mid-level celebrities. Right?
Oh, yeah. Well, they're a celebrity within a very certain group because most people don't even know who any of them are. So they're not, how much of a celebrity are they?
And
you have to be into that sphere.
Yeah, and then you get just the advertising. Like John Cena has an epic entrance, I thought.
Right?
See,
I loved it too. People were complaining about it. I thought it was perfect.
Oh, it was perfect. The way they had handled the Cena thing had been perfect. That's what makes me upset about it. And then he's in the ring, and they go to a drumstick commercial, like a live drumstick read for drumsticks. When's the last time you had a drumstick?
It's been a while.
You gonna get one now?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Like,
I forgot about
that. Was such an but they had like the drumstick characters in the stands. Like, it was just
They did
weird.
another one. They did another one during the night too. That it was, I think it was the video game Doom, but they didn't tell anything. They didn't say it was a video game. They just came out. I had no clue what the hell was going on.
Drew McIntyre's entrance, I think, right, was a Doom character.
Yeah.
He seemed pissed off about that too.
And they didn't even say like at the bottom, coming soon, Doom or whatever.
No,
like, nothing.
Yeah, the whole thing's strange. The way that they are marketing this, it's like I tweeted out, as the kids say, you don't lose the plot. Right? Feels like they kind of lost the plot with this one. It's like, I get it. It's the Super Bowl of professional wrestling. I get it. It's Las Vegas. But let's try to understand what we're working with, especially the main event. I mean, I love John Cena. He's on my pro wrestling Mount Rushmore. We went over that the last show. But I do not expect a 5-star match out of the guy. And I don't expect one out of him ever again. And so that match needed to be headlocks, takedowns, punches. You know what I mean? Over the top acting. But then you even get like, we can all see Cena going, hit me again, hit me again. He's getting older. Like, I hate to say that, but that's what this is. And the WWE knows all this. But I still love the storyline. It's just, getting back to The Rock, I did expect him there too, but when I do hear them explain it, Paul, it makes sense. The Rock's
What are they
presence
explaining?
would have stole the moment from John Cena. They wanted to put that moment on Cena, 17 world championships. They're
I
giving
get
this
it.
to him because this is very important to the industry. And if The Rock shows up again, The Rock's stealing the spotlight.
I, that would definitely be a problem. But The Rock also, like, he snapped his fingers and Cena turned. The Rock is still involved in this, so maybe I just have to wait, and The Rock's going to show up in a week, and then everything's forgiven at that point. But it just, to me, it just felt like The Rock just said, you know what, I'm not showing up. I'm not doing this. You guys can figure this one out without me.
Well, I
'Cause it
mean,
felt too abrupt.
you did you see The Rock's interview on Pat McAfee?
No, I didn't. No.
The Rock went on Pat McAfee, and today we're recording this on Wednesday night, April 23rd. And I honestly, it's a very confusing interview. He says, like, after Elimination Chamber, they said the final boss character is done, right? And I don't know. I think that if you're the WWE, you need The Rock at some point again inserted into this John Cena storyline. But I do understand their argument if they say they don't think it needed to be at WrestleMania. Here's the
Yeah.
problem. I don't think the problem was that The Rock wasn't there. Did I expect him there? Yeah. Do I understand why he wasn't there? Because he would have stolen the spotlight from a very special moment, maybe the most special moment in the history of the WWE? Yeah, I can understand it. It's not The Rock. It's Travis Scott's, and I don't even want to say Travis Scott's presence. It's good that he was involved because he shouldn't have been involved in Elimination Chamber. But maybe they had him involved in Elimination Chamber knowing that The Rock wasn't going to be at Mania and they needed to connect the dots somehow.
He was a
And
surrogate. That definitely makes sense.
right. But they shouldn't have had the entrance. That's where they went wrong. The long, drawn out entrance. And for all we know, though, maybe he was supposed to run down and he said, fuck that. I'm taking my sweet ass time. It
Yeah.
kind of ruined some things there for the moment.
It also looked goofy too, because then Cena goes over to him, he like daps him up and gets him in the ring. I don't know, that he should have done a run in. I agree with that.
Yeah, from the front row.
Yeah.
He should have been there all night. And they kept going to
Yeah,
him.
and they say in the WrestleMania song, here's Travis Scott, who gave us the WrestleMania song this year. That's still stuck in my head.
And then he's looking up at Cody. Cody makes the entrance. Cody's giving him the receipt. But look, here's the other thing too. This is where, like, I'm not crushing the WWE and I'm not crushing the storyline. I think that the storyline is gold. I agree with most of the things they did with this storyline. There are some things they could have done better, which we just mentioned. But what's also kind of perfect about it, and I don't know if this is intentional or not. I have no idea if this is intentional. If it is, bravo to WWE because it's perfect. Is that John Cena is literally saying, I am going to ruin wrestling.
He almost said he's going to take the
And
belt.
he
with him,
almost
which I'm like, take it.
But that was such a bad, you know what I mean? Like, it was definitely a bad finish. And it was so bad that it's like, well, at least it's the storyline. He's telling us he's going to ruin wrestling. And he kind of ruined the main event of WrestleMania. He didn't have his entrance that everybody showed up to see.
That was good. I like that.
Maybe it comes out that he says he told The Rock not to be there or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
The Travis Scott thing was long and drawn out and somewhat unnecessary with the amount of time it took for him to get to the ring.
But overall, not terrible, though. I'm still okay with Travis Scott, but just, it could have been handled a little differently, though. Where is Reigns in all this, though? Because if I'm Reigns, I'm like, where am I going to get my final boss match? Because isn't that what we're all building to?
Yeah, and by the way, not to interrupt you, but my headphones, this is a new setup we got, and my headphones are acting weird. So if I stop hearing you, we'll just cut it off and we got our points across on WrestleMania 41. But let's keep going until that happens. Now they're back to normal, it seems. But you're right. The Roman Reigns,
If
like,
I'm
and now,
him, I'm pissed if I'm him because I'm like, what the hell? I was the storyline. I was your only good storyline for what, 2 years maybe, and then you just put me. I'm chopped liver now. I'm gone. I'd be pissed if I was Reigns. I feel like he carried this. They did not he quit. They did not pro quo.
um, no, you bring up a good point. I mean, I think that there was more to be. There was more they could have done for the Bloodline storyline. Because think about it, Solo Sikoa wasn't even involved. I didn't see him at WrestleMania.
Uh, They've erased that the second bloodline. They've almost erased. It's almost gone.
Fatu won the U.S. Championship, right? Jacob Fatu.
Great match.
He's great.
Really good match too.
I mean, by the way, I thought night 2 was much better than night 1. So the Fatu match was night 1. I thought night 1 was tough. I thought night 2 out of the gate, the women's triple threat was incredible.
Yeah.
And then
they got rid of a lot of the stinkers though. Night 1 though. That's what it was. It's just like they pushed. It was just I don't want to make the same argument again, but there's a good 5-hour show where we could have just had one night of a great 5 hours. We could have crammed it all in.
Yeah, it needed to be one night for sure. It wasn't. Again, we can all go back and forth on that. But I will say the night 2, I think it was the first 2 matches, right? Because the Intercontinental title match with Dom Mysterio, that might have been the best match of the weekend. That might have been the best match moment of the weekend.
He's the face of this. He's gonna be the greatest. He really is. He gets it. I don't know how fucking talented he is physically, but he gets it. Everything. I want to watch him every week.
Yeah, I mean, you see some guys, and I'm always like, well, I mean, you do a couple push-ups, maybe for me, you know.
He's getting there though.
Take a little creatine, get a little jacked up. I say that somewhat in jest. I mean, a guy like that, he's not there to show off with the physicality. I get it. But no, I thought Dom Mysterio, that match might have been the best match of the night. And then those first 2 matches, the women's triple threat and followed by that Intercontinental title match. That really, you knew then that night 2 was going to be much better than night 1. Out of the gate at night 2.
Yeah.
But where were we? Oh, the Roman Reigns. Yeah, Roman Reigns, they had that triple threat night 1. You said it was the main event. In hindsight, I disagree.
I'm going with Heyman no matter what, though. I love Paul Heyman. He's still, no one's better than him.
Yeah, you know what though? I don't even. I'm not all in on the Seth Rollins Paul Heyman partnership. I think it might end up being Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman. That's it.
Could be.
I guess you're right. I wish that I was happy when he turned on CM Punk. And then I was somewhat disappointed when he turned on Roman Reigns right after that. Because I was kind of that was kind of predictable in a way. It was predictable. It was like Paul Heyman swapped sides with both Roman Reigns and CM Punk. It was kind of predictable. Because they even teased it in like a post, like, who's he going to leave with or something. It's like, well, why don't you just tell us who he's going to leave with?
Exactly. I saw the same thing.
So I kind of saw that comment. I think a lot of people did. Like, I had some people texting me going, I called that. I'm like, yeah, you and everybody else, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I think the Roman Reigns thing, what's going to be interesting is I think he was so good with Heyman and the Bloodline. I hope this doesn't ruin Roman Reigns for us.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of talking, and it doesn't seem like he's in this for the long run. I don't know if he's not happy right now or what, but he sounds like he's one foot in Hollywood right now to me.
I don't.
He was talking about being Tarantino and only picking roles that he wants. I'm like, this guy's gone.
Well, he did that interview, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Was it GQ?
People, I think it was
Was it?
GQ. Yeah, it was something. It was something like that. Yeah.
Well, he definitely rattled the cage of a lot of wrestling fans by
Oh, for
he
no,
didn't he
they that was an
he didn't shit
overreaction,
he
though.
didn't shit on Trump. They want everybody to
Exactly.
shit on Trump. And if you don't
Well,
you don't
they
have to praise Trump, but if you don't shit on Trump, you're an evil person. In
well
their
they
eyes, not mine or
it's
yours. In
it's
their
a
eyes.
purity test. It's a purity test. They want you to say the right things and say it the right way. And
Mhm.
Roman Reigns basically just said, like, I hope everything works out. Is all he really said.
Yeah, he was like, I'm pro America, and whoever the president is,
Yeah,
like, I'm gonna respect that, right? I'm paraphrasing, but that's kind of what he said. I
yeah, pretty reasonable take.
I think he mentioned a couple things about Trump, like being a businessman and like his longevity
Yeah,
as a businessman. And, of course, like the people who hate Trump, they point to like bankruptcy. It's like, yeah, but it's like, it's kind of a strategy that they use.
yeah,
It's not
yeah.
exactly,
Doesn't mean it's good. That's
well,
what they
you
all
sit there
do.
and play Monopoly. Like, it's not necessarily the same shit. Like, sorry. It's not a
But
board
I
game.
hope that didn't sour them on him at all. If
No,
they
I don't think
realize
there's
he's
anything
maybe
else. No, I don't. It won't because I don't think there's anything else that the fans can do for him. Um,
yeah,
I just fear that because we both agree there was more for them to do with that storyline,
yeah,
like including just a rematch against Cody.
yeah.
Like,
Which no one ever talked about. Yeah, it's just gone.
like no rematch clause? How do you not have a rematch clause? Um, and so now does
I do
Cody have
feel
one against Cena? Now, by the time you listen to this, it might be, or watch this, Friday Night SmackDown might give us the answers to these questions. I don't know. But I remember Roman Reigns when he was the big dog and wasn't the tribal chief. And, I think we can all recognize that it wasn't
he
great,
struggled a little. Yeah,
right? It was forced down our throat. I mean, I don't think it was as bad as people say, but it certainly
they
wasn't the tribal chief. Tribal
yeah,
chief
they
was putting him,
right.
at least on this show, and I think on other shows, was putting him in the GOAT conversation
Yeah,
because of the storyline they told, the way they told it, the long-term storytelling that was involved. And then it felt like, yeah, they had the War Games match and everything, but it's still, that was like, there was a lot going on there that maybe wasn't exactly Bloodline-esque. It was CM Punk,
yeah.
it was Heyman, it was, yeah, there is going to be something missing with Roman Reigns, and I hope it doesn't ruin the whole thing. But it could. I think it very well could.
Yeah. It depends on what they do. They could make him like the lone wolf thing. They could really do some cool stuff with it, but it depends if they want to do it. But I do feel I'm happy for Seth though, because Seth had a good year, but really didn't do anything. Like it really didn't get across to people, and people didn't give him the credit that he deserved for last year. So I'm hoping that it elevates him to a level where you can finally see him, because he's a talented guy. He's a really talented guy.
Yeah, I like Seth Rollins. I just,
It felt like they didn't have a place for him all of last year.
I feel like I don't see it with Heyman. I don't see it. I'm not feeling it. I don't see it. Um, I don't know. Maybe there's more to the story, but I can tell you, I'm not as invested in it. Like I would have been invested in Roman Reigns versus CM Punk more than I
Yeah.
am what's going to happen with Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, and Braun Breaker. But who knows? Maybe Seth Rollins was like you said, he was kind of in no man's land. He's getting pissed, and they don't want to lose him to
Yeah.
AEW, and this is kind of
They
their
don't wanna
way
lose
of.
him and his wife too. That's part of the
No,
power
and she's
too.
back now too, right?
Yeah,
Um,
and looking great. Like she had a great no ring rust at all. I really liked their match.
heel turn on Raw.
Yeah.
I will say this: the Vegas crowd sucks. I would
Yeah,
not go
they
back to
stink,
Vegas.
man.
Man, they were bad.
They
Like
stink.
WrestleMania was bad. The Raw after Mania was bad. Now I think where they might have hurt themselves is going to Europe before WrestleMania because those crowds are insane.
Yeah.
And so it's tough to keep up with those crowds, and you're not going to keep up with those crowds in 90% of the markets that you go to in the U.S. You're just not. For the most part, we're a bunch of fucking slobs,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I say us. Like I'm not you.
The
We
collective
are
us.
like
Yeah.
when we go to a game or a sport, unless it's like, I think WrestleMania is different. I think you'd get,
No, but that
certain
crowd was weird.
places. Well, Vegas
Yeah,
is
they were
different, man. I think Vegas is different.
it's like a
Vegas
transient
is
town.
everyone's.
People
I feel like everyone's a little more hungover. They're not getting as much sleep, and no one's who sleeps in Vegas. Are people sleeping in Vegas? Everyone's probably tired. Did you watch the Hall of Fame?
I did, yeah.
I didn't watch any of it.
It
I
was
didn't
good.
watch any of it.
It always,
But
it
I
always
saw
pulls
that
a
people
tail.
were like,
As soon as I see Shawn Michaels cry, I'm like, oh, it's making me cry now.
people, people were like falling asleep there, right?
It was long. It was really long. Yeah.
Yeah. Congrats to Triple H, one of the
Course, yeah.
goats. I feel like he probably doesn't get in the goat conversation enough, and I think that's probably because I think there's a factor there that's like in people's brains. It's like, oh, Triple H, like, and I'm not saying I believe this. I don't believe this. All right, Hunter, I don't believe this. I'm just telling you why, like, what the masses probably think. You know what I'm about to say. They think, like, oh,
Yeah.
he married the boss's daughter, and so he doesn't deserve the credit that
Yeah.
me and you probably think he should get. I don't feel that way. But I think the masses probably have that ridiculous opinion. And it's like, well, that's stupid. Because
Yeah, it's
everybody
silly.
who becomes a legend in this business is handpicked. And when you are handpicked, that doesn't mean it's going to work. And when it doesn't work, you know when it doesn't work. You feel that it doesn't work. Did you ever feel that way with Triple H? I never did. So, like,
No.
I'm not going to use that as the reason he's one of the greats. But I'm sure people feel that way. And I think that's probably why the masses don't have him in the GOAT conversation as much as they do. And maybe we're guilty of like, because other people leave him out, it's just like,
Yeah.
we don't put him in
That's
either, right?
well, but it's also the eye test. He was I know he was second fiddle to Shawn and DX, but as soon as Shawn was he ran that play. He ran wrestling for quite a long time before he was the boss's son-in-law.
Mm.
So he's a special guy. But you're
Yeah,
right.
I mean, that's why like I wonder here. And I've broken a lot of big stories in the sports world, and I have no inside information. None. But I wonder, like if I like the reason I say that is if I was about to ask the question that I'm about to ask for like the Red Sox or the Bruins, right? It might be a somewhat informed question. Like I might have some
Yeah.
intel that leads
Yeah.
me to even asking this. I don't with wrestling. So I wonder if there's trouble in paradise. Because, and I don't mean trouble with like, I don't mean like Triple H, Stephanie McMahon. I mean with like Triple H and the new WWE. The Rock. They're doing this thing too. This is this has me mad actually. And we've talked about this. But they're now releasing a new Netflix documentary where they're
Another
pulling back
behind the
the
scenes
curtain.
thing.
I fucking hate it. I hate it.
Do you know?
I
You know
hate
what
it.
though? I want them to make it, but I don't want it out for 30 years because I just watched the WrestleMania 9 behind the scenes and I
Yeah.
loved it. That's about the time though.
I meant to
let
watch
it
that.
let it breathe. Put it in a vault for 20, 30
Yeah,
years.
20
and then I'll
years.
watch it. Yeah, for real.
Like they have Cody in the
Then I'll love
ring.
it.
They're like, "Oh, is he hurt? No, he's selling. It's a great sell. He's selling." It's like, "Nah, dude. No." Like, no.
I hate it too.
Oh,
Even
man.
I saw Logan Paul practicing the same move with a dummy that he did, like that backflip
I don't mind that.
suplex thing he did.
That's
I don't
fine.
like it.
Well,
I
you don't like
don't
seeing
like it.
guys practice moves? I mean, that's
Nope.
fine. You got to but that could be that doesn't have to that's a
They
curtain
just get out there
pullback.
and they fight. In my head, they go out there and they fight. Nothing else. There's no
Yeah, but wait a minute, Paul, but that's okay. If they're showing a video of a guy doing a
The
move
finish.
on a dummy, no, but for all you could be thinking as a wrestling fan, it's like, oh yeah, Logan Paul's practicing that move because he plans on using it in the match.
Yeah.
I'm
He's
fine with that.
telegraphed it.
It's
Yeah.
the stuff where they're like pulling the curtain back on whether or not a guy's selling, or showing the conversation
crazy.
between Triple H and Jey Uso where he's like, I'm going to put a fucking rocket on your ass. Basically telling everybody everything that Jey Uso is about to do, which should be special, is already pre-planned. Now, again, I get it. We all know that it is
But it
pre-planned
doesn't
and
mean they have to tell
predetermined.
us. Yeah.
But like, are they not understanding that? And maybe they don't understand because I don't know. When's the last time some of these guys were actual fans?
Yeah.
Now, granted, I'm now in the ring cutting promos and being a hype man for the future WWE champion. And so when you see me in that ring, you know, cutting a promo face to face at WrestleMania with Paul Heyman, you might ask the same question about me one day. Oh, Pix lost the plot. He doesn't know what it's like to be a fan anymore. I don't know. So we can only speak for ourselves right now on the outside, being on the outside right now. But it's like, even though we know it's predetermined, doesn't mean I want to see the fucking video about how you tell us about it.
I hate it.
No. Like, hard fucking no on that. And I just wonder how, like, a guy like Cody Rhodes feels about it. When they show the video of him laying on the ground and everybody in the back going, is he all right? Oh, no, he's selling. Well, yeah, of course he is. But we don't need to see you telling us that. And the only thing I can think with that video and this documentary that's coming out is that they're just whoring themselves out to more of this. More of the dinero. Mucho dinero. Por favor. They don't give a fuck. They're just doing anything. They're putting drumstick commercials right after John Cena's entrance in the biggest WrestleMania main event in the history of the fucking sport. So they don't give a fuck anymore as long as they're bringing in the cash. And I just think, I should say, I don't think that's a Triple H strategy. I can tell you that right fucking now. Do they want money? Do they always want to find ways to make more of it? Of course. There isn't a single person out there that doesn't have that mindset, whether you're collecting fucking coins in front of the bank as a homeless dude with a coffee cup, or whether you're at the top of the top in TKO. It doesn't matter. Everybody, we are built to think, how can we get more? How can we get more? And that's a fine business strategy to have. It's just to what extent do you go? Vince McMahon, for as much as people might have hated the guy, and you know I didn't, Vince McMahon had a line he would not cross. Okay?
It feels like that.
Well, when it comes to I know I get it. You get what I'm saying. When it comes, let me clarify. When it comes to advertising, because that's what we're talking about.
It wasn't all over the ring.
We're talking about advertising. We're talking about marketing. We're talking about the marketing strategy. It's different right now. It's visibly different. It's so different that it's off fucking putting.
But I wonder if we would be saying the same thing had we gone back in time and we see Vince McMahon pitching Cyndi Lauper, because that felt like a little bit like it's just like, hey, let's just get this new big MTV thing and let's just push this everywhere. So maybe all these things are just new avenues, but it's hard to ignore that they just merged with TKO. They just got a Netflix deal. It's hard to ignore all that, and not to say like they're getting their dollars worth for that.
I 100% understand what you're saying with that. The the problem is um it is different. I just think it's different. It is different. It's there's one thing to like have celebrity like Vince McMahon, yeah, he did the WrestleMania thing where he had the celebrities and he did all of that. And that's fine. You want the celebrities at WrestleMania. But like they're doing it on Monday Night Raw now. Like again, how many advertisements were in the ring for Mania? Wasn't just one.
Countless.
It was
It
on
was
the mat, probably like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 on the mat, maybe,
at least 12.
and
The
then on each
barricade.
turnbuckle.
Yeah.
It's different. It's off-putting. And
It's like the first time I saw the Celtics with their jersey, with their whatever their stupid
I know.
thing is. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Heartless.
I mean, I was watching a hockey game last night. Playoffs. Who was it? What team? Toronto. They got Oreo on their helmet. Like, how stupid is this? Like,
Sponsored
what
by
are we
Dude
willing to
Light.
do? How much are we willing to whore ourselves out for the bottom dollar? Like, for the buck? It just...
It's a
There's
lot.
just got to be a line. There's just got to be... We gotta pump the brakes, I think. You just got to pump the brakes. But my point is with this documentary now, it's got to be about money.
Yeah.
Like, it's got to be. Because I don't know how... Like, if you're Triple H...
Or Paul
Adam.
Heyman. They got Paul Heyman mic'd up. I can't
Cody.
believe he's in it. Yeah. Cody, exactly. Randy Orton, even. All these old guys. Like, wild.
They want that out there? I mean, these are the same guys that hate when people say it's fake. You'll get
Yeah,
punched, they'll
exactly.
punch you in the face. If you walked up to Randy Orton right now and you like, hey, Randy, everything you do is fake, he'd fucking bitch slap you. He'd slap my head off my shoulders.
300-pound Adonis. Everything's fake.
Dude, he'd do the, finish him, fatality to me and rip my head off. But can you do that? Like, can you get mad about that anymore? If you're them?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't think you have a right to get mad at that anymore. If you're going to put this shit out there, I don't think you got a right to get mad. I just don't. So, those are the state of the WWE right now. Look, I tweeted, getting back to my initial tweet, like, I love it. I'm always going to love it. I'm always going to be a WWE guy over an AEW guy. I think the production value is still, like, as good as you get anywhere with anything. People like to get picky about things. Like, they got picky with stuff with Vince. They get picky with some stuff now. I'm good with it. I think it's great. But I'm a storyline guy. And if you're going to fuck with that at all when it comes to like over advertising or
Overexposure.
over promoting something just to make some more money, it's off-putting. It's a problem. And I think you need to catch it now before it gets too late. Because what's going to happen is, Paul, and I'm just speaking, this is just human nature. This thing goes off the rails with all this promotion. And, like, you can't dial it back. Because you start to lose the talent. Right? Like, you start to get guys going, all right, what am I doing? What do you want me to do? You did the drumstick commercial. Now you want me to wear the drumstick outfit? Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
New
where does it
day?
stop?
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
And like they're putting the patches now on them that they're gonna wear to sell in the sports cards. I'm like, dude, what are we doing?
Collectors love it. They said that 50 times. Like,
All
no
right,
one cares about this.
is sports cards collector's cards? When's the last time you opened a pack of cards, Paul?
Oh, it was a big thing when we were in like the early 90s, mid
Oh,
90s, right?
yeah, Patty's Sports
It was
Cards, right
big.
up on Broadway, Ellen
Yeah.
Broadway. But I couldn't tell you
But
where the nearest sports card shop is.
no, no.
So like,
not
but
in
I see it
Southeast.
everywhere. I see it everywhere.
I know like the
And I'm saying I'm saying in this neighborhood, like
Yeah, it's
walking
not
distance.
here.
Like we have so
It's
many.
not here
We
at
have
all.
every store you can imagine in this neighborhood in Southie, and there isn't a sports card shop in Southie, right?
Nope.
No.
Nothing.
So like, but then I see it on this, and like everybody seems to love it. I see it on social media right now. Oh, 1 of 1, like autographed. Kind of like,
I think do they just see the big money? Because there's big money in those Pokemon cards and Magic the Gathering. I know that's big money. So they just like, can we just get a lick of this? That's probably what's going on?
I don't know. I kind of think it's gonna go the NFT route,
Oh, yeah.
which is like, don't put all your stock into that shit because NFTs. Remember NFTs?
Yeah, they were big for a while. That was a
Yeah,
way
like
for
2
some
weeks.
people to launder. I think people are laundering money. I think that was the
Yeah.
only point of those things.
I mean, people were buying videos on your phone,
Yeah.
thinking that like, oh, this is unique. It's 1 of 1. It's like, yeah, no, someone's gonna hack your phone. 1, 2, like I'll find that
It's
video
stupid.
on YouTube tomorrow,
Yeah.
and you just paid $10,000 for it. You're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. So like, I don't know. Am I gonna sit here and buy sports cards and like keep opening packs and hoping that I get a 1 of 1? And then what am I gonna do with it? Is someone gonna buy it? Where do I
Yeah.
sell it? I sell it on
You gotta
eBay?
get it.
And then
Yeah,
when I
you gotta
sell it on
get it.
eBay, you tell like I have to pay for the shipping? And I have to like walk. When's the last time you returned something from Amazon? Because I'm in the middle of a
never.
fucking war.
I've never done it.
I'm
I've never done
I'm-
it. I eat it every time.
Dude, it might be the best strategy.
I've never done it. Not once.
I'm in the middle of a war with Amazon that I think we had a peace treaty today when they finally
Okay.
picked up a package from me that I've been trying to return for a month and a half. I think we're good. I say I think and not I know because for all I know, I never get the refund and it wasn't actually UPS that picked it up and it was like the junkie that lives down the street that just walked in my hallway and stole it.
Yeah.
Very possible. But I've been in a battle over the dumbest shit. And I'm chatting with people. You ever go in the chat? Customer service chat? Live
It's
chat
horrible.
agent? Yeah.
Is it like half AI, half real agent or something? It's one of those.
I believe I'm talking to a real person.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure, though. I'm pretty sure I am. But I always say, dude, I've been calling and chatting at the same time. Being like, you document everything? All right. I'm chatting with you right now. Read the fucking chat. And don't read this chat. Read the chat I had 2 nights ago. Because they told me you could do this for me. And now you're telling me you can't? Let me speak to your manager. I'm that guy. But they deserve it. This is just a battle. And I don't even know. Oh, it's because if I get a 1 of 1, right? And I got to ship it to someone on eBay when I sell it. That's more work for me. Like the
That's
money better
worst
be
kinda
good.
work.
And I
That
got to
kinda
find
work
I got to
stinks.
find the 1 of 1,
Yeah.
which will never happen, by the way. I'll never get a 1 of 1. So I'm not even going to dabble in it.
There's ways to cheat. I know. I've seen on the Pokemon stuff. They're putting like metal detectors on top of them, and they can figure out if the big card's in there. They're
Oh,
weighing
really?
them. They're doing all sorts of stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
You might have me on that one. I could entertain
Yeah.
rigging the system.
101 Pokemon. I can't even think of a Pikachu. I can't even think of a Pokemon.
No, dude, do you... Oh, they're doing it for Pokemon. They're not doing it for anything else, just Pokemon.
I think just Pokemon.
I
Just
don't
like
know. I'm not a
shiny
Pokemon
cards
guy. I
or
have no
something.
idea. With Pikachu and
Nah.
Pokemon...
I think we're a little too old. I think we missed out on Pokemon. I was a little too old, I think.
Yeah, I don't have any recollection of Pokemon. Um, but WWE now has cards, and they're putting the patches. What are they doing? Patches on the tights, and then they're gonna cut it
Yeah,
off and put it in the back of a card.
yeah.
What the fuck do I need that for?
I'm gonna
Like,
clone
imagine,
Dominic with this sweat.
imagine, like CM Punk was wearing this patch on his ass, and now I'm putting it in a plaque.
Yeah, you're like,
Love
imagine
CM
you
Punk, but
someone
like, I don't need
like, hey,
that.
come into my basement. Let me show you a patch. CM Punk, that was on his ass.
Yeah, that's you walk into that basement. I have a feeling you're
You
not
don't walk
leaving.
up. Yeah, no.
You know,
Put the lotion in
put
the
the lotion
basket.
in the basket and fucking tale as old as time, Paul. It starts with the patch. It ends with the lotion in the basket. All right, let's wrap it up. Right? Unless you got more thoughts on WWE, anything else I'm missing?
No, it seems like Randy and Cena are gonna do a little something now. Randy jumped him on Raw, so
Didn't even see it.
it's good for
Stop.
me.
Didn't see it. You
It's
know
good for
why?
me. I'm a big Randy guy, so it's good.
You're a Randy
I was
Orton guy.
pretty, yeah, I was psyched.
I love Randy Orton too, but I don't know. I think they're getting away from like the rematches. You know,
Yeah,
you lose the title, you get a rematch. You should. They didn't give one to Roman Reigns. It looks like Cody might not be getting one right away. I don't know. Though maybe by the time you watch this or listen to this, that might change. So
yeah. Maybe we'll get a triple threat.
I think I'm done with the triple threats.
I'm so done with them. I
Yeah, I don't
hate
need
them.
them. I don't need them. All right. Well, we had to give our take. It's funny though. Like you think back last year at this time at Mania, we were getting. There were some videos we got like 200,000 views on because we were
Yeah,
reacting regularly. Like we were fully invested to the point where we had to get
retweet.
on and react to it.
Yeah,
We had to get on this on the YouTube channel, on Spotify, on Apple Music. We had to react to it, and that's because the storyline was so good. And to think like a year later, like we didn't really have to do that. Like I know I wasn't really feeling a need to do it. Were you? And we
yeah.
just didn't.
No, it's a new year, and this is the worst year. It was great
Yeah.
last year. It was
The
perfect,
last 2
and I
years, the
almost
WrestleMania 39
yeah
and
yeah you're
WrestleMania
right, yeah,
40
because
and
that was all build up too, and it
the
felt like
build
this
up.
was like this was gonna be the culmination, and it didn't really feel like we got it. We got something else. I do like the John Cena stuff. It's not what I was looking forward to though,
Hmm.
but who knows?
I think I still think there's going to be like even though we mentioned The Rock on McAfee today and how it was kind of weird. You didn't watch it. Go watch it. It's weird. It's kind of weird. I don't really know what to think
Heyman
about
was
it.
great. I saw Heyman maybe the day before or the day
Oh
after
yeah.
wrestling. Heyman, he was great on it.
Heyman had a lot to say.
Solid.
People were pissed. There was some,
I still did you watch?
the snowflakes were
Did
pissed
you?
about some shit he said.
Yeah, I know. Did you watch the roast with Tony Hinchcliffe and him? I haven't
No,
seen that yet.
why could you watch it? I thought you couldn't watch
I
it.
think. Oh, I thought it
I
was
saw
out
a
there. I
couple
thought you could watch it.
clips. I saw a couple
Okay.
clips. I thought it was one too many forced f bombs. You
E-
know, it was like
Everyone's. Yeah, I guess Tony said that it kind of wasn't great until Heyman got up there.
oh okay.
And
Oh then
so
because even that wasn't great. So okay. So then it must have been terrible. But
I think it was pretty bad.
yeah, I mean, what do you expect? I mean, that's a long week, dude. That's a long week. You know, you got Monday Night Raw, the NXT shit, and
Yeah, I
then,
did see
and I don't
that.
mean shit, like I love NXT, but
No, yeah,
I'm
yeah, of
just,
course.
I shouldn't have saying shit. You got NXT, they're doing their stuff all week. Friday Night SmackDown, Saturday Night WrestleMania, Sunday Night WrestleMania. Then you got the roast after all that? The Hall of Fame Friday night. Like, that's too much. They did too much. It's too
Yeah.
much.
It was 9 hours each day. Saturday and Sunday. It was 9 hours of coverage. That's
Oh, yeah,
wild.
because you had NXT on Saturday morning, too, right? Or
Yeah.
early afternoon. Yeah, that's too much. I mean, I'm okay with the event, like the NXT event. It's just everything else, there was too much of it. There was too
Yeah.
much noise that didn't have to do with Cena versus Cody. Too much noise that didn't have to do with Roman versus Punk versus Rollins.
Yeah.
The focus ended up being on everything else.
Yeah.
Even politics.
Yeah. Silly.
So like yeah, it wasn't the best. I thought the set was really good.
Yeah.
It wasn't the worst
I loved
set.
how it looked.
Wasn't the
I
worst
liked
set.
it a
I didn't think it
lot.
was the best. Thought it was okay.
It's
It was
it's
good.
just
It was a
such a
good set.
big place. It's such a big place. You almost don't have to do too much. Just show how big it is. It just look. I loved it. I really liked it. I liked where all the seats above the Titantron or whatever they call it now is. I thought it was
Oh, I
perfect.
like those seats. Yeah, those seats were good.
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh, Joe Henry. We got to mention Joe Henry. That was good.
Yeah,
You know.
I finally know who he is because you've been talking about him. I never really knew who he was. I had to keep asking you who he was. I was like, oh, that's the guy. He
Yeah.
got flattened.
He did.
Oh, is
I
Randy
mean, he
the
shows up for
TNA?
Randy Orton at WrestleMania. I get it. Why? Yeah, you should.
If
You
I
don't
was
show up
Randy
for me
Orton-
and Parker Boudreaux in the UWE when we
Yeah.
call you out, but you'll show up for Randy
I
Orton at
was-
WrestleMania. No, I get it.
If I was Randy, I would start claiming I'm the TNA champion. I would say
He should.
Randy. He should, man. That's so good. Just screw Joe Henry. I'm
Well,
the
they
TNA
bought. Hey,
champion.
they bought AAA. See
I
that?
know. I saw that. Yeah.
You know who's a AAA guy?
No, who?
The notorious BFD.
Mm.
Parker Boudreaux. So,
Never know.
yeah. Anything else we got to get to? The Celtics. We got the Celtics
think that's it.
playoffs. And then what else? Celtics they'll beat Orlando first round. Red Sox. You know,
Red Sox are hot and cold. I don't know
Hot
what
and
the hell
cold.
you're getting out of them.
we don't know what we're getting. We had the torpedo bat situation, which I was pissed off at first about, and now I'm like, whatever. Use whatever the
Kind
fuck
of think
you
it's
want.
cool. Yeah, we
I
need more
hated
home
it.
runs.
I hated it.
It's goofy, but
I thought it was it's highly illegal. It's illegal. I don't care what anyone tells me. It's not. I don't even think it's
Yeah.
up for debate. I think the torpedo bat is illegal. I think pitchers should be pissed. And I think if Major League Baseball was smart, they might have already stepped in. Did they step in? No one's
I
talking
didn't
about
see-
it
I think it-
anymore.
I don't think anyone's talking about it. Maybe they're all using it now.
Yeah, very, very stupid. And then we get the NFL draft this weekend. Who do the Patriots take at 4? I don't know. I got no
I
clue.
don't either. Yeah, not a chance.
I mean, I
I
would
think
love
y-
to see Travis Hunter. The problem is Travis Hunter wants to play both offense and defense. And like, sorry,
That
no.
can be quieted pretty quick. Yeah, It's
Like,
just
no. Like, if we take you at 4, you're not playing both. You're not.
Yeah.
Like, not full time at least. Like, every
Yeah,
once in a
exactly.
while, like, all right.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But dude, like, no. The fourth quarter, you're gonna be exhausted. Like, you're gonna be useless. Right? And then, you'll be out of the NFL in 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole
Like-
point. You're the average 5 years will be 3 years.
Yeah, no. We do got to wrap. So this is the new setup we have. I hope it worked. I hope it recorded. I hope it sounds good. It says we're still recording audio and video.
Yeah.
How's my camera? This is the camera on my Apple Studio display. I think it looks all right.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
We'll see how it looks in the post-production. But there's some things we have to tweak. You know, I think we'll still do some of the in-person shows. It's just
Yeah, we can
this
do both.
is once we get the systems figured out, because this is like interview mode that we're using on Ecamm Live. Um, once we really nail down the fix here, uh, this is just an easier, plug and play, if you will. I don't know. For me, it is at least.
Yeah.
All right, Paul, great stuff as always. We will
Thanks, Danny.
keep an eye on the rest of the post WrestleMania world, and we'll be back soon to react. See ya.